This is Akiko. But hi everyone, my name is Rochelle. For those of you that are new here, I love books. I have a problem with pretty books, and I also have a disability for those of you that aren't aware of it. And today we are going to do the end of the year tag. Now, I've already done the 10 before the end, but I also felt like doing the end of the year tag because there's different questions and different things, and I felt like it would be really fun to go and do both for my channel, especially since this is my very first year here on booktube. So with that being said, let us pull out our questions and get started. Are there any books that you need to finish? Actually, I have a book that I started reading on Friday that I started after finishing one of these arcs that I had on NetGalley, and that would be We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver. This one you would have seen on my 10 before the end video, and I finally started it. When I started reading this one, it was actually when my fiance was doing a few errands before coming home, and so I was like, you know what, this book has a lot of creepy vibes, and this might be the perfect chance to start reading it and getting into that creepy mood. I know some of you have expressed interest in me going and reading scary/haunted house books, especially since I moved into this new house that I'm in now. And although it seems like a terrible idea, it also seems like a lot of fun. So I was like, you know what, let's start doing this. So yes, this is the book that I'm currently in the middle of. I think I'm almost to the halfway point on it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. But yes, I would like to finish this book, of course, before the end of the year, and I think it's definitely going to be happening. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? And I feel like The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst would probably be my pick for this one. I don't necessarily know if it's in the autumn or fall season, but just with the cover and seeing all the different colors of the plants and everything like that, it just kind of screams like fall time to me. I don't know what it is about cottages or gardens, but they just scream cozy fall vibes for me. And so this is one of the books also on my 10 before the end video that I really would like to read and hopefully get to soon, especially before we start getting consistent snow here in Colorado. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? There are so many new releases that I'm waiting for. So one of the books would be the second book for Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce. I have not read the first book yet. I need to read it. And the second book comes out in December, so I'd really like to get that one, especially since there's this stunning edition from Barnes & Noble that I really want to get my hands on. And then another one is Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young, and I figured I probably wouldn't get the chance to even read it, get to look at it, anything like that, until January, towards the end of January when it comes out. And then this last week, I got an email from NetGalley going and saying that I got accepted to read the ARC. So I am going to read that hopefully within the next couple of days. I just need to finish my other book, and I will just be lost to the world. I will probably cry 50,000 times. I don't normally read romance, but Hannah Bonham Young has such a special place in my heart, and the fact that I get to read this book before it releases, I have to get to it. So those would probably be a few of my anticipated releases, and then there's a few more that come out in January. I feel like so many good books are coming out in January, and a few of them I do have arcs for, so I'm just like, I need to read these all before January comes so I can write a review and just, yeah, probably put like in a pre-order for these books as well, because that's something I'm behind on, and I'd like to get physical copies of them as well. So then the next question is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Now, obviously, those arcs that I mentioned, I really would like to read those because they're all coming out in January, and since January is also my birthday and the first month of the year, I really would like to get to those, so that's very important for me, as well as all the books that I mentioned in my 10 before the end video. I know I've mentioned it a few times already, but of course, all of those books mentioned there, I really would like to get to. And then I do have a few others that I could probably mention. So this is definitely more than 3, but I love reading. So, and I'm out of my book slump, and there's just so many books, so little time. The other ones that I would like to read before the end of the year would probably be these 3 books. And these were ones that I had kind of considered when I was making my 10 before the end, and then it didn't happen. So this one is She is a Haunting by Trang Tan Tran, and this one, actually, I got an ARC for her new book that will be coming out next year because I'm a part of the Bloomsbury Creator Circle, and I've never read her debut novel, so I need to go and read this one, and I feel like it would only be right if I read this one before the other one, even though I have a physical copy of it, and I'm so excited. Yeah, this is another one I'd have on my list, and it says, "This house eats and is eaten." When Jade Wynn arrives in Vietnam to visit her estranged father, she has one goal: survive 5 weeks pretending to be a happy family in the French colonial house Ba is restoring. She's always lied to fit in, so if she's straight enough, Vietnamese enough, American enough, she can get out with the college money he promised. Holy crap. This definitely seems like quite the trip and experience to go through, and I'm so curious. I really love the way the cover looks as well. Then I have The Stranded by Sarah Daniels. The ship is their world. To survive, they must end it. So this one, from my understanding, is basically, it's kind of like this apocalyptic dystopian type of thing where these people live on this ship. This is their entire life, their entire world. Nowhere else was hospitable for them to live, and that is why this is their current place that they're living. This is their entire world. But they want to experience more and see what else is out there. So it basically seems like they're gonna try to risk everything to get to dry land. But as they become more involved in the rebel cause, they find themselves at the crux of revolution, where their choices will decide the fate of everyone on board. We know I love dystopian type of things, and just seeing how it goes and changes the people involved in it. So I'm very interested to go and pick this one up, and I'm hoping that I can do so before the end of the year. Then I have Tender Beasts by Lizelle Sambury. This was another book that I was so conflicted between this one and Delicious Monsters for my 10 before the end. I just really love the cover of this book so much. So with this one, Sunny has 4 siblings, but only one is a murderer. With the death of Sunny's mother, matriarch of the wealthy Bear family, Sunny's once picture-perfect life is thrown into turmoil. Her mother had groomed her to be the family's next leader, so Sunny is confused when the only instruction her mother left is a mysterious note: "Take care of Dom." The problem is, her youngest brother, Dom, has always been a near stranger to Sunny, and seemingly a dangerous one if found guilty of a second-degree murder charge. This just seems so interesting as well. It's a bit of a thicker book, but I feel like it will be a quicker read, so also hoping I get to that one before the end of the year. So then the next question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite of the year? Yes, I feel like there's so many, and also at the same time, I've really been getting drawn to The Gracier by Kim Liggett, and I've just been seeing it everywhere. I also do have this on my 10 before the end, and I just feel like I need to read it, and this will be a book that just blows me away and becomes a top contender for top, I don't even know, top 24 books of the year. I don't know. But with this one, it says, "No one speaks of the Gracier, it's forbidden. In Garner County, girls are told they have the power to lure grown men from their beds, to drive women mad with jealousy. They believe their very skin emits a powerful aphrodisiac, the potent essence of youth of a girl on the edge of womanhood." So this one, from my understanding, is these women get sent away when they're turning the age of 16 to get rid of this magic. And any woman that has gone through this whole process, they don't talk about this. So it seems very interesting, very dystopian, and from what I've heard, so many people have enjoyed and loved this book. It's definitely one of the favorites that they've had, and I just feel like it probably will be the same for me. So I'm excited to add this to my list of favorite books as well. And then the very last question is, have you already started making reading plans for 2025? Yes, I have. So in some of my videos, you might have noticed I have this little notebook with me. I usually have it right next to me at all times on my desk, and that's because sometimes I'll just get these random ideas and I'm like, oh, that could be a really fun video idea. I'm gonna write that down. So in this, I have a lot of different ones, which really helps when I'm feeling a bit more burnout, or I'm like, oh, I'm not quite sure what I'm in the mood to go and record. And if there's not any current tags or anything like that going around, then I'm like, all right, let's go to this book and let's see what we can find. So yeah, I've been typing up and looking up a bunch of different fun ideas. I also think, and this is where I might announce it, is I'm gonna try to do Bookmas. I'm still trying to figure things out, but when I asked everyone in a poll recently, seeing what they wanted more of or what they enjoyed between Vlogmas and Bookmas or a mixture of the both, it seemed to be Bookmas and a mixture of the both. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, at least for the month of December. So I have December planned out, but I also do have videos planned out for 2025. And I'm just so excited to see what happens, not only with the channel, but with the bookshelves and seeing how I rearrange them, because I've already made a video going through my library, my bookshelves and everything, and doing a tour, and I already want to reorganize them again. So lots of fun things to look forward to on my channel. But yeah, that was the end of the year book tag. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any books that you're trying to get to before the end of the year, please let me know. I'd love to hear which ones you're racing to finish. I know I will definitely be rushing to finish all the books I mentioned here and in a previous video, plus some other ones that you don't know about, because wild things are happening right now. But yeah, I'm just so excited, and I'm about ready to run back and dive into my books. So with that being said, I love you all so, so much, and I hope that you always remember that you're worthy and capable of amazing things. Bye, everyone. Nugget's sleeping on the floor, and he doesn't like being close to Nugget.